Thank you for learning with me how to create an employee KPI report, actual versus target. Now, it is crucial than any other time that in the next coming few years, the world is shifting and people who can excel, who stay relevant, has a certain characteristic as is also pointed by the World Economic Forum, which is here. The top 10 skills of 2025. And really, there are only two options. One is called the A, and the other is the reverse. It's B. The top 10 skills that is identified is that active learning and learning strategy, leadership and social influence. So you're wondering, why am I doing what I'm doing? Well, because of social influence. These are some of the skills that you must have. You should share what you learn, what you know is valuable, is to others. Now, I'm not saying that you share something that is everyone can just Google it and find it. No, you got to incorporate your own idea, your own insight. Then it become valuable. Okay, so that's required to learn and apply, learn and apply. So let's come back to this. In order for you to complete how to create an employee KPI report, then the first thing is that you need to know what is in the Powerquery that's called the unpivot column. So the unpivot column is like this. If you have some data like this and you want to turn into this, and look at that, this is the green color. The green color will turn into a column, and all the value point will turn into another a third column. And this orange area, it will repeat by itself. So it will repeat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what does that mean? Well, let's say you have a KPI target, something like this. Now, you want to convert this into something like, something like this. Like, so you paste it here and this one here, and then you right click. Oh, by the way, it's not just one. Okay, and you need to right click. Let's just do it one more time. Okay, and then right click and you do a transpose, and then you do it here, you know, something like that. And then here you need to call this, and then right click and you paste it here. So you want to achieve some feature like this, right? So you see that this is how it how it is like kind of like transpose, right? Now this is like a pivot table, and if you want to go back to the original, how can you do that? Well, we use a feature called unpivot. So I have prepared a guide uh, for for my student, right? So it's something like this here. Okay, so first thing is that we're going to turn this into uh, into Excel table. So I press Control T, click OK, and then I give that a name called T target. And I go to my data tab. I click on from table range. Okay, and now Excel's pointing to Powerquery editor. Okay, so this is it. Now, how do you convert that? I might not need to have this change type step. Do I need to? Okay, I think I need. All right, so seems that I crossed a step, I cannot get it. So I better just discard it, right? Let's just do it one more time. go here. All right. So to unpivot, it actually quite simple. The concept, however, you need to understand. Just right click on the column and then choose unpivot other column. There you are. Unpivot other column. Look at that. Isn't that what I showed you earlier? You take this and then you do what is it? Do a transpose for every employee. You do a transpose, but it's just done in just less than a second. Right? Let me just do this. Right. So I basically close this step. Right. So there is a step that you can, if you want to undo, you said you remove the step. Okay. So I select this employee and just right click. I choose pivot other column. Who done? You see, done. And now I can give a name called month. Just double click on the column name, and I double click on this here as well. I just call it. This is the target, right? So I just call it target. And since this is all the currency values, I click on this little button here, and I choose currency. All right, and then I just click close, close, and load to. Now, if I want to load it into Excel, I will use the table. If I want to just create connections, I will choose only create connections and click OK. So it will now show into a pane called query and connections. Okay, with this query and connections, you can go to the, what is that, the data tab, right? See that query and connection right here. Okay, so if you close this, you can get it back by going to data and click query and connections. Okay, so you do the same for the actual table. Do the same, even though there's no value put in here. You can always do the same. You can always do load it into Excel table uh, and then do a unpivot. Okay, so okay, pause this video. Uh, do it for the actual. Do it for target as well. Yeah, pause this video. Good, I believe you pause this video. Now we continue, right? So how to turn this into a Excel table again is Control T and click OK. Go to the data tab. Sorry, let's just. It's always good that you name the table first, right? So T actual. So then I go to data tab, choose from table range. Yes, just as you expected, a simple a few step. Right click here, choose unpivot other column. And again, give the name called month. And this one, give them a name called actual. And here we click on currency. Okay. And again, close and close and load to load as a connections. Click OK. Okay. So basically, what we have is that we have a target list. So see, this is a target list, and we also have a actual list. Okay, so how can we kind of like uh put the actual value, put this actual value, as you can see here, this actual value, a list of actual value, just beside of the target. How can we do that? Well, just double click on this here. Okay, so that is the target, and now we go to the top on the home tab, go to the top here, click merge as merge query as a new one, right? Yes, click on this merge query as new. So click on that. So this is the target I want to merge with my actual. So I select this item here, employee, and select employee here as well. Now I hold out the control key. Yes, hold out the control key and select the month and the month. Okay, so what basically it says that um I want to refer to the Kari and January, the value of actual and put it just beside here. Okay, so I want not only curry but also the month. So it is a combination key. It cannot be just one key, right? So if you have just one key, then it is not unique. But when we do a combination, you work it that way. Maybe I just let you so I can refresh. All right. Cool. So basically, select this column. Then after that, hold our Control key, and you get it done, right? So now click OK. All right. So take a look at here. Now it will be matching with the actual value. You can see that here, this is actual. So how can I get this value, this column of value, right? So on all this table here. So there's a very simple way, which is click on this button right on the top. So click on these buttons, uncheck everything. You tell Power Query that I just want the actual value and uncheck this item. Click OK. And that's it. It's done. See? It's done. Now I can just go ahead and click close and load and close, and this time, however, I want to click close and load because I want to load this data into here. That's it. And yeah, now you know that curry and last we target for 158, actual is 136 for the January, and you can see much more things you can do, right? So of course you can also use this to come up with the dashboard. Yeah, you can load it into a pure table, or you load it into your Power BI desktop, and there are many variations, right? It depends on your knowledge level of the latest skill. Let's come back to our tools here. If you learn, then you stay relevant. If you don't learn the new skill and you remain the same, then sad to say that you will be part of the jobless people, right? So in by 2025. So it's a choice, but the choice will determine whether you can stay relevant or not. It's also a choice that you can share or you don't want to share. You want to keep all the information within yourself, right? You refuse to share, and guess what? You may no longer relevant by 2025. It's not far from now. We are 2023, year 2023. It's just 2 years. So, and many people already aware of this and they're sharing, but they are not sharing impactfully. You want to share impactfully, such as that I'm sharing this on my LinkedIn. So I just shared it. So something like this, right? So we can see that so this person is sharing this, right? So kind of like cool. As for me, I'm sharing my knowledge, okay, like this. So I'm sharing this report here, okay. So this is the report. So this is one of the ways that you can make contribute to the community, right? So don't just share something like this, right? Because everyone share. When everyone sharing, it is not impactful. Yeah, you may get some comment, but people will not share. It will not help people in many ways. So something like that. When praying for the job, also pray for whatever. So well, actually, that and people just simply say this is so true, right? How true is that? You need to work on yourself, right? Work on yourself. Top 10 skill. Start working on it. Sharing impactfully. Share impactfully. Don't just share something like that, right? It makes feel good, but then it has no value in terms of business innovations. So you got to share something that is so impactful. This is just one example how I share how to create employee KPI report. actual versus target by understanding the unpivot column. You can do a lot of things, right? So it is source come from Microsoft, and I actually convert it to easier. For me, I find it's easier to read. So I created a Power Query idea book. See, you can have this here, like this table dot split tab at. So you can something like that. See, from here you can go to here, right? So split at. So what? See, there is all the explanation right here. So it's still in the making, and hopefully this will be useful for my student in the future. So one last thing, start creating your impact, share impactfully. Thank you.